Browns predicted to keep Colorado Buffaloes football legend Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel long-term, start Joe Flacco week 1. The Cleveland Browns quarterback competition is about to ratchet up at the end of July at training camp. We'll soon have a realistic idea of who will start for the Browns in a season most expect them to end up at the bottom of the standings. The system former New York Jets and Miami Dolphins executive and current ESPN talking head Mike Tannenbaum shared a bullish outlook on the team's 5th-round draft pick / Colorado Buffaloes football legend Shedeur Sanders and Cleveland's 3rd-round pick Dillon Gabriel in the long term. As for week 1, Tannenbaum predicts Joe Flacco to win the starting job. Their schedule is remarkably, they start off with Cincinnati, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota Provincia. Tannenbaum said on ESPN's Get Up, "Look, Shedeur Sanders or Dillon Gabriel, they're 2 rookie quarterbacks, may be their future, but as the ultimate bridge quarterback with that sort of brutal start, let's go with Joe Flacco." And all those starts. If Flacco wins the starting job, Kenny Pickett becomes the most obvious candidate to be dealt out of anyone in the Browns' QB room. One of the team's quarterbacks could be used as trade bait. Sanders may not have value as someone the CFL has eyes on. Gabriel might not have value if he were to hit the block either. If Flacco doesn't win the starting job, his trade value becomes unclear. We'll see if this 4-quarterback arrangement still has legs after training camp. The Cleveland Browns are a franchise reborn, not in hype, but in hard-earned wisdom. After decades of quarterback chaos, the front office has traded desperation for discipline. That's why, in a move equal parts strategic and symbolic, the Browns are predicted to start veteran Joe Flacco in week 1 of the 2025 season, but keep Colorado Buffaloes legends Shedeur Sanders and Oklahoma's Dillon Gabriel as their long-term future. It's not just a quarterback room. It's a masterclass in succession planning, the Flacco factor. Week 1 warrior, not franchise savior, Joe Flacco wasn't supposed to be a Cleveland hero, yet he turned a 2023 emergency signing into a playoff surge that energized the city and shocked the league. He did it not with flash, but with poise, precision, and a 6'6" frame that refused to flinch in collapsing pockets. Starting Flacco in week 1 of 2025 isn't about sentiment. It's a tactical decision. The Browns have built a playoff-caliber roster with elite defensive pressure, strong run blocking, and a receiving core headlined by Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore. What they need in the early goings of the season is stability, not experimentation. Flacco is the bridge, not just to the next generation, but to a more methodical, strategic Browns identity. While younger quarterbacks need to adjust to NFL speed, terminology, and pressure, Flacco offers a proven presence to manage divisional shootouts, late-game drives, and hostile environments. Starting him buys time. Time for Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel to learn without the weight of expectation crashing down on them. Shedeur Sanders, the crown jewel of the future, it's impossible to ignore the gravitational pull of Shedeur Sanders. More than a name, more than Deion's son, Shedeur has shown on the field that he's a maestro. At Colorado, he didn't just throw touchdowns, he orchestrated them. Quick reads, tight windows, fearless throws under pressure. He has the toolbox and the temperament. And in Cleveland, he has something he never had in college. The Browns front office isn't rushing Chevalier into the fire. They see what he could be, a franchise cornerstone with elite upside. But they also know throwing a young quarterback into the chaos of AFC North football can ruin careers before they start. So Chevalier waits. He learns behind Flacco. He studies defenses, adjusts to the speed, perfects timing with NFL-caliber weapons. And when the time comes, whether in Week 10, next season, or in the aftermath of a playoff loss, he won't just be a backup, he'll be ready. The Browns didn't just draft a talent, they invested in a culture-shifting leader. Dillon Gabriel, the X factor nobody sees coming. Then there's Dillon Gabriel, the dual-threat dynamo who shredded Big 12 defenses with his legs, his left arm, and his leadership. Gabriel is more than a gadget player, he's a developmental gem. While Shedeur is the face of the future, Gabriel is the engine waiting to be fine-tuned. He offers something few quarterbacks in the room do, improvisational danger. Design QB runs, rollouts, run-pass options. Gabriel turns broken plays into momentum swings. In practice, he's already turning heads. In the locker room, he's a favorite. and on the depth chart, he's slotted as QB3 for now. But the Browns see him as a long-term weapon. Not every team keeps two developmental QBs long-term, but Cleveland, scarred by years of swinging and missing, has learned the value of patience and competition. Gabriel may not start soon, but when he does, he'll have something that can't be coached: the chip on a backup shoulder and the heart of a starter. The long view. Why this trio works, what makes this plan different from past Browns missteps? It's intentional. This isn't throwing rookies into the deep end and hoping they swim. This isn't handing the keys to a fading star and praying for a renaissance. It's a hybrid plan, one that maximizes short-term competitiveness while cultivating long-term greatness. Here's the chessboard. Flacco handles the heat early, steering the Browns through September's chaos and into potential playoff contention. Shedeur gets NFL reps in practice, preseason, and possibly spot stars, with the franchise framing him as the heir apparent. Gabriel continues developing in a system designed to harness his mobility and creativity, with a trajectory similar to a young Tyler Huntley or even a poor man's Jalen Hurts. Instead of gambling everything on one QB, the Browns are diversifying their assets to defend an NBA tournament. Instead of gambling everything on one QB, the Browns are diversifying their assets and setting themselves up to win both now and later. The city behind the strategy? Let's be honest. Cleveland fans have been through enough. They've lived through jersey after jersey of failed quarterbacks. They've watched top picks flame out, journeymen disappoint, and fan favorites implode. What they crave isn't just wins, it's a plan, something they can believe in. Starting Flacco says, we're competing now. Keeping Shedeur says, we're building for something real. Developing Gabriel says, past. For once, Browns fans can look at the QB room and see more than chaos. They see competence, structure, vision. The inevitable transition. No one expects Joe Flacco to make it through 17 games, and maybe not even 10. That's not a knock. That's football. But when he steps aside, it won't be out of desperation. It'll be a handoff. And when Shedeur finally steps onto the field as QB1, he won't be a wide-eyed rookie thrown to the wolves. He'll be a prepared professional, ready to carry the weight of a franchise that finally gave him room to breathe. Maybe Gabriel carves out a hybrid role in the meantime. Maybe he shines in a few packages or wins a few games when called upon. Either way, he's part of the plan. Not a backup plan, but a legitimate contender for the future.